So, thanks for meeting me up last month. So,
Sure.
what were the strengths of my delivery?
Strengths of your delivery, I like the fact that you started off with the passing the torch reference, so you recognise how there are successful magazines within the genre already that you're trying to be a part of, and you feel that your magazine is going to be kind of the next market leader. And I thought that was a really confident statement to make very, very early on in the pitch. And the fact that you focused on those magazine pages as well in such a huge amount of detail was really, really good as well.
How did I make the aims of my magazine clear?
At the very beginning, you talked about, you did obviously your verbal introduction, you talked about the magazine going to be kind of the market leader in many respects. If I look at some of the notes that we've got here, your social media marketing also highlighted how the magazine was going to fit into that market. So you very, very clearly and very early on made it very clear that this is absolutely crucial.
Okay. What areas do I still need to cover in the pitch for future reference?
Made a note of some of the areas. I think you could have gone into more detail about the connotations surrounding the title of the magazine. So how did you come up with that name? What are the meanings behind that name? I think you need to cover that in a little bit more detail. The format of the magazine, in terms of the release of the magazine, is very clear. So you say it was going to be a print magazine released monthly, every month. I think you could maybe talk about the size and dimensions of the magazine, how it's maybe similar or different to other competitors out there. You could also look at whether or not in the near future, whether the magazine is going to be released digitally, so that might reduce your printing cost, but also charge a higher fee for subscribers for the magazine and create a better margin for the magazine. In terms of the budget summary, the job roles and salaries for the people that you're going to employ for the magazine, you need to cover in a bit more detail. The distribution costs, so how much is it going to cost to not only publish and print the magazine, but also send it out to the shops that you have in mind, so a little bit more detail. We need a little bit more detail on that. Sources of income, so how much you're going to charge for a full page advert, a half page advert, subscription costs. Those are some of the areas that I think you need to cover in a bit more detail. The plan for the images, you've got some fantastic images across all of the magazine pages, but how did you go about actually taking those pictures? I would say some other areas that we need to know, and your sales figures in terms of profit loss breakdown, those weren't quite clear at the moment. We need to see how much you're going to spend on the magazine in terms of office space, in terms of furniture, printing costs, marketing costs, so how much you're going to spend actually publicising the magazine, versus the amount of money that's going to come in. We need to know whether the magazine is either very quickly or over a long period of time going to make money or not.
Okay. What were the strengths of the front cover?
The strengths of the front cover, I think your positioning of the masthead was really, really impressive, Andy. I would say the integration of the image around the text that you've got on the page, there was no interference with text across the face or anything like that. The whole layout you clearly used the software, the desktop publishing software available to you to a really, really good standard. So I'd say the masthead and the manipulation of the main image and the integration of text around that image was very, very strong.
Okay. What could have been better for my front cover?
What could have been better? Maybe some more cover lines. The main headline could probably be a bit more prominent on the page, but not a lot more than that. I think maybe for future issues you want, in terms of mode of address, you want the actual person on the front cover looking directly at the camera. I'd say that would be an area that I would focus on for issue 2 or for other future issues as well.
Okay. What were the strengths of the DPS there?
The double page spread, the text columns that you've positioned on the page, the fact that you carried over the house style from your front cover was really, really nice to see. Really small, tiny details like the page number, web address format that you've got at the bottom of the page was also really impressive. Yeah, those were the standout success stories. You had a nice drop capital on there as well, which was really good to see.
And what could have been better on the DPS?
I would say, and I know that's something that we've talked about before, your main headline on the front cover, that person, needs to be the same person on your double page spread. So I think going out and taking those pictures again if needs be, really, really good quality images would be the area of Very good. I think all of the drafts and flat plans, they were all very nicely presented. You went into quite a bit of detail on your magazine font styles, how you came to decide the font style you chose for the masthead. I would just say, as I said earlier on, focus a little bit more on the connotations, the meanings behind the name of the magazine. I would say that you probably need to focus more on the plan of the images, as I said earlier. How did you come to take those pictures? How are they similar to other music magazines that you've researched? Yeah, it was good, and I think the house style and colour scheme, even though it's very obvious across the pages, you probably just need to focus on that a little bit more as well. Okay, but other than that, very, very good.
So, how realistic was my research on my magazine of inspiration, which was cute?
Cute, very realistic, and the fact that one of your strengths for your front cover was the positioning of the masthead, as I said, in the top left corner. You recognise that that's quite a common and repeated feature within Q. It's kind of a signature, unique selling point for the magazine as well. We recognise, as soon as we see that red box in the top left-hand corner, we immediately associate that with Q. So that was something that was particularly good to see.
Okay. And in a nutshell, how would you describe my pitch overall?
Very good. I think if you go back and revisit those financials in a bit more detail and come back and do the pitch again, we're very interested in the magazine, but I think we're going to be extremely interested in the magazine if you can cover the job roles and salaries, if you can cover the distribution costs, sources of income, so how much money the magazine's going to make or bring in, and then weigh that up against the outgoings. That's something that's going to get the ball rolling, I think, for your music magazine.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.